Just to get a glimpse beyond the illusion by TinyButFierce. Chapter 6. Many weeks later, Tony sat in an office, tapping a pen and staring at the woman sitting across from him, Aunt May. He leaned forward and placed both hands on the table. Tony, my apartment has paparazzi stationed outside of it, and Peter has to go back to school soon. I know that our original plan was to have him stay with you for the summer and come back during the school year, but I honestly don't think that it would be safe for him to come back to the apartment. Tony tapped the pencil on the desk one last time before sitting up and copying May's pose. I'm actually glad that you came to see me because I was going to bring up the same topic. How about you and Peter come and permanently move into the tower? I can have transport and a security escort arranged for him when he goes to school. Much to Tony's surprise, May closed her eyes and took a deep breath in, rather than having a more extreme reaction to the idea. The billionaire cocked his head to the side, wondering what she was about to say. She opened her eyes and looked towards the corner of the room. Did you know that I never officially adopted Peter? Yes. Technically, I'm just his guardian. You know, I thought I could do it, but once we earned enough income to support our family, Ben and I would make it permanent. Then Ben died, Peter got powers, and now this. I don't know what to do, Tony. I love this kid with all my heart, but I know that I'm not the person that can help him. The billionaire froze. What are you trying to say? Do you see the way he looked at you? He was hero, and I know that you see him as your own. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think that staying with me will help him the most. I was wondering if you would take guardianship, or even partial guardianship over Peter. I can't help him with all of this, but I know that you can. Will you at least think about it? Tony stared in shock at May, his mouth gaping. May continued, I'll even go talk to him about it right now if I have to. This kid has gone through too much. The least I can do is try and make it so that he's in the best position to succeed. If that means I have to be out of the way, then I'll get out of the way. Tony leaned forward in his chair, eyes focusing dangerously on May. I sure as hell do not want you to up and abandon this kid. You said it yourself. He's been through too much. You can't just leave him. Then what should I do, Tony? Move into the tower. I've already thought it out. There's a bunch of guest suites open from when the Avengers moved out. I can have all your stuff delivered here by tomorrow, before Pete has to go back to school. Look, I completely understand thinking that an option has to be one of two options, but I've found that it's usually best if you can come to a compromise. Thinking on either side of an extremity is dangerous. If the option still stands for us to have joint custody over Peter, then I would run and call my lawyers right away, because that kid means a lot to me, and I would love to make it more official. Don't think that you have to leave for that to happen. He loves you, and you love him, and I don't want to see either of you hurt. Tony had turned to trace the veins of wood in his desk while speaking, but as he finished he looked up to the sight of May crying, hand over her mouth. His eyebrows shot up and he slowly sat up, hand reaching forward to awkwardly pat May's other hand that was resting on the desk. Hey, no, don't do that. He wiped her face and sniffed. Sorry, I don't want to leave him. You don't have to. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call Happy, and he's going to arrange for your stuff to get moved out of your apartment and into one of the suites. Peter's room is on my level, but I'm sure he could move down. No, that's not necessary. I'm gone most of the time because of my shifts at work, and I'd rather have Peter with you than with empty rooms. Tony smiled, a small sense of victory in his chest. He hadn't wanted to part with the kid, even by a floor or two, but he had been willing. The Avenger stood up from his desk and grabbed his phone, slipping it into a pocket. Let's go talk to Peter. May stood up and followed him as he walked out of the door, asking Friday where the kid had gotten to. He's in the staff cafeteria, boss. Birdman is with him. Birdman? You told me to call Mr. Wilson that exactly 4 days and 57 seconds ago. Oh, right, yeah. What are they doing in the staff cafeteria? I'd rather not say. Tony's eyebrows flew up as he turned towards May. I think it would be best if we hurried. The two raced towards the elevator, speeding down until, with a quiet bing, the door slid open, revealing an empty cafeteria with two figures standing next to the drink selection area. Peter was grinning from ear to ear, clutching his phone as Sam filled up as fast as he could with the selections of all the drinks, took a sip, and looked directly into the camera. F you. Much to the dismay of the two, Friday kept playing an automated beeping noise whenever they said the expletive. Hall monitor protocols were still in place. The two giggled and turned to watch the recording. Bent over the phone, neither noticed that Tony and May were approaching until May cleared her throat loudly. They turned to the sight of Tony and May standing with eyebrows raised and arms crossed. Sam started to panic. Nope, I'm out of here. Your situation's too dangerous for me. Falcon ran towards the door to the balcony, swinging them open and yelling, You're on your own, kid, before jumping off the side of the building and flying away. Peter waved. Bye, Sam. The teen turned back to the two in front of him and crossed his arms, leaning casually against the drink selection machine. Hey, what are you two doing here? Tony and May exchanged a glance before Tony drawled. Looking for you. What are you doing here? The teen mumbled something. May leaned forward, a hand cupping her ear. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Well, Sam and I were reenacting the Vine. Both May and Tony sighed at the same time before Tony pulled out a chair that was settled at one of the cafeteria tables and gestured for Peter to sit down in it. The teen gracelessly slid into it, fidgeting as May and Tony sat across from him. May smiled at Peter. So, Peter, Tony and I have been talking. You know that school is coming up, and we've been discussing some options. We've decided that, due to the drama of the last few weeks, we're going to officially move into the tower. Wait, really? That's so cool. May raised a hand placatingly. We've also decided that, if we get your permission, Tony and I will share guardianship over you. That way we can both be at our best and try to help you succeed. Peter sat back in the chair, eyes wide. Tony leaned forward. If you want to think about it for a bit, that's okay by me. Peter shook his head. No, I don't need to think about it. I'd really like that. Both of you. Both of you mean so much to me, and I'd really like that. Tony and May broke out into smiles and stood up from the table. Peter met them halfway for a group hug. They separated and stood back before the smile dropped from Tony's face. Oh no, I need to go tell Pepper. The Avenger rushed off, phone in hand, towards the elevator. May and Peter watched him go, Aunt May frowning. Is that going to be a problem? No, Tony just forgets to tell her things and then she gets pissed. After what happened the last time, let's just say that he's been really on top of the whole sharing information thing. Sounds about right.